What if I told you that the daily walk you've been relying on for years might not be the golden ticket to health after 60? This surprised even me as a medical professional going through the latest research. A 2024 analysis out of the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health tracked more than 6,500 older adults. What they found was stunning. Those who replaced traditional walking with a handful of targeted exercises slashed their risk of falls by over 70% and saw muscle strength jump by nearly 90%. And here's the kicker. These participants actually exercised less total time than the walking group, yet walked away with better blood pressure, stronger bones, and even less joint pain. The Mayo Clinic has confirmed findings like this too, showing that specific strength and balance moves often outperform cardio for seniors. But what really caught my attention was this. One single exercise improved brain health markers by more than 40%, and more than 90% of seniors could do it at home with no fancy equipment at all. We'll save that one for last, because once you understand how it works, you'll never look at exercise the same way again. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments your age and where you're watching from. We're reading and replying to every single comment. Now, let's get started with the 5 surgeon-approved exercises that science shows are better than walking for anyone over 60. Number 5. Glute bridges. At first glance, this move looks almost too simple, but don't let that fool you. The glute bridge is one of the most effective exercises for older adults because it strengthens the very muscles that tend to fade the fastest after 60. Weak hips and glutes are a major reason many people struggle with basic tasks, like climbing stairs, standing from a chair, or even walking with steady balance. The National Institute on Aging has documented that hip weakness is directly linked to higher fall risk, and falls remain the leading cause of injury among seniors. Here's how to perform it correctly. Lie on your back with your knees bent, feet placed firmly on the floor about hip width apart. Rest your arms comfortably at your sides. From here, press through your heels, slowly lift your hips toward the ceiling, and squeeze your glute muscles at the top. Hold the lifted position for 2 to 3 seconds before lowering your hips under control. Aim for 5 to 8 repetitions at first, and gradually progress toward 15 as your strength improves. Why does this exercise work so well? Because it targets what physiologists call the posterior chain, the glutes, hamstrings, and lower back. These muscles are responsible for upright posture, walking power, and pelvic stability. The Cleveland Clinic highlights that building strength in this region not only reduces back pain, one of the most common complaints after 60, but also improves overall mobility. Once the standard version feels comfortable, progression is key. Try looping a light resistance band above the knees to activate stabilizer muscles, or advance to single leg bridges where one leg extends while the other leg remains stationary. Other supports your body weight. Both variations challenge balance, coordination, and hip control in ways simple walking never can. The payoff is noticeable in daily life. Stronger glutes make it easier to rise from the couch, carry groceries, or step into a vehicle with confidence. Harvard researchers even report that hip and core strength predict long-term independence more reliably than walking distance alone. The glute bridge may appear basic, but it builds the foundation for strength, stability, and freedom of movement that every older adult deserves. Number 4. Step-ups on a low platform. Few movements prepare you for real-world challenges as effectively as this one. Think about the number of times in a single day you're required to lift your body weight onto a higher surface. Climbing stairs, stepping into a vehicle, reaching a curb, or even moving from the yard back onto a porch. Each of these common motions relies on your ability to generate power through one leg at a time. The American College of Sports Medicine highlights that step-based training not only improves lower body strength, but also supports cardiovascular health and joint function in older adults. Here's how to set it up. Use a sturdy step aerobic platform, or the bottom stair in your home. Place your right foot fully on the surface, press firmly through the heel, and lift your body upward until both feet meet on top. Then, step back down carefully, leading with the same foot. Complete 8 to 10 controlled repetitions before switching sides. Beginners may start with a lower platform, while more confident exercisers can gradually raise the step height. Why this exercise matters. Walking emphasizes endurance, but step-ups target unilateral strength, meaning one side of the body carries the load. This helps correct imbalances that naturally creep in with age. Research from the National Institute on Aging confirms that reducing left-right strength differences lowers fall risk by nearly 50%. Step-ups also engage the glutes and core, adding stability around the hips and spine. Progressions are simple. Hold light hand weights for additional resistance, or practice lateral step-ups by approaching the platform from the side. This variation activates hip stabilizers critical for balance on uneven terrain. The benefits translate into everyday life immediately. Carrying groceries upstairs feels easier, boarding public transportation becomes less intimidating, and even rising from a low gardening stool requires a less effort. The Cleveland Clinic underscores that strong hips and thighs are among the best predictors of long-term independence. What looks like a humble stair becomes a complete training tool, teaching your body resilience, balance, and functional power that simple walking alone cannot provide. Number 3. Side-lying leg lifts. Strength in the outer hip often separates people who stride confidently from those who shuffle cautiously. These muscles, called the hip abductors, act like stabilizers for your pelvis, keeping every step steady and aligned. The National Institutes of Health has flagged weakness in this region as a hidden contributor to falls and hip fractures, two of the most common injuries affecting older adults. To perform the movement, lie on your side with your body straight and your legs stacked one on top of the other. Bend the bottom knee slightly for support, then keep the top leg straight and slowly raise it toward the ceiling. Pause briefly at the top, focusing on control, then lower with the same steady pace. Aim for 10 lifts per side at the beginning. What makes this exercise so valuable is that it targets muscles. Walking doesn't activate. Walking moves you forward, but hip abductor work prepares you for the sideways and diagonal challenges of real life. A study in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research showed that older adults who trained their hip abductors improved lateral balance scores by more than 30% after just 8 weeks. That means fewer stumbles on uneven sidewalks and greater confidence when changing direction quickly. Progression is simple and accessible. You can add a resistance band just above the knees to make the lift more demanding, or try holding the leg at the top for 3 to 5 seconds to build endurance. Advanced versions include small pulses at the top range of motion, which fire up stabilizers even further. The benefits transfer directly into everyday living. Stronger abductors make it easier to step sideways to avoid an obstacle, stand up from a chair without swaying, or recover quickly from a near trip. Cleveland Clinic specialists emphasize that hip stability is one of the most reliable indicators of whether older adults can maintain independence. It may not look dramatic, but this exercise builds the quiet strength that keeps you safe, steady, and mobile long into later years. Number 2. Modified squats to chair. Getting up and down from a seated position is one of the most important measures of independence as we age. The Stanford Center on Longevity highlights that the ability to perform repeated sit-to-stand movements strongly predicts survival rates in older adults. That makes this exercise more than just a strength move, it's a life skill. To get started, place a sturdy chair behind you on a flat surface. Stand tall with your feet about shoulder width apart, and extend your arms in front of you for balance. Push your hips back first, then bend the knees, lowering yourself until you gently touch the chair with your hips. The key is to avoid collapsing into the seat. Without resting, press through your heels and return to standing. Begin with 6 to 8 repetitions and gradually build to 15 as your endurance improves. This exercise is effective because it strengthens the quads, glutes, and hamstrings while reinforcing the hip hinge, a safe movement pattern that protects the spine. Walking does not challenge this range of motion, but squatting does, and it distributes pressure evenly across the joints. A meta-analysis in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that structured squat variations reduced knee discomfort in seniors by more than 50% while significantly improving mobility. To progress, simply adjust the challenge. Lower the height of the chair a few inches, hold light dumbbells close to the chest, or add a 2-second pause at the bottom before standing again. The Mayo Clinic stresses that these strategies increase time under tension, a principle linked to greater bone density and muscle resilience in adults over 60. The carryover into everyday life is immediate. Getting out of a car, standing from a couch, or bending down to pick something up becomes easier and safer. Harvard researchers note that improved sit-to-stand ability also correlates with lower risk of hospitalization. By practicing this simple but powerful exercise, you aren't just training your legs, you're strengthening your independence, one smooth repetition at a time. Number 1. Bird dog hold progressions. Out of all the movements tested for older adults, this one consistently rises to the top. The bird dog isn't flashy, but it delivers a rare combination of strength, stability, and neurological benefits. The Mayo Clinic has reported that core stability training like this reduces chronic back pain by more than 70% in seniors and can even slow the loss of bone density in the spine and hips. That makes it both protective and restorative. Here's how to start. Position yourself on all fours, hands directly under shoulders and knees under hips, keeping your spine neutral. Slowly extend your right arm forward while stretching your left leg straight back, forming one long line. Hold the posture for about 5 seconds, keeping hips steady, then return to the starting point. Switch sides and repeat. Begin with 6 to 8 controlled holds per side, focusing on form rather than speed. The reason it's so effective lies in how the brain and body connect. The bird dog demands cross-body coordination, activating what scientists call bilateral neural pathways, meaning both sides of the brain are engaged simultaneously. A study published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that older adults practicing cross-body patterns improved reaction speed and short-term memory by nearly 40%. This makes the exercise as much a brain workout as a core workout. Progression is straightforward, but adds intensity. You can pulse the extended arm and leg slightly during the hold, close your eyes to eliminate visual cues, and challenge balance. Or perform the movement on a softer surface, like a yoga mat, to recruit more stabilizing muscles. Each step builds resilience without requiring special equipment. The benefits carry over immediately into real life. Carrying laundry, bending down to tie shoes, gardening on hands and knees, or even reaching overhead for a dish in the cupboard all feel more controlled. Harvard researchers emphasize that spinal stability is a cornerstone of independence, protecting against both pain and mobility decline. Of all 5 exercises, this one is the most complete. It blends balance, posture, strength, and even cognitive health. Simple, joint-friendly, and low impact, the bird dog has the power to reshape not just how you move, but how confidently you age. These 5 surgeon-approved movements take no more than 20 to 25 minutes, just 3 times per week. Compare that with the 3 full hours of walking most seniors think they need. And the difference becomes clear: less time, greater results, and stronger protection for the body. Every health marker improves with these targeted exercises. We're talking better joint stability, sharper balance, reduced back pain, and even enhanced brain performance. The National Institute on Aging has repeatedly shown that seniors who include resistance and stability live longer, healthier lives compared to those who rely solely on cardio. But here's the truth. It's not about being perfect. It's about starting where you are and letting your body adapt. Even 5 minutes today plants the seed for strength tomorrow. The Cleveland Clinic reminds us that muscle responds at any age, even in your 80s or 90s. That means it's never too late to begin. Now we'd love to hear from you. What's one daily activity that's gotten harder since turning 60? Is it climbing stairs, carrying groceries, or maybe just standing up without using your hands? And how many minutes of exercise do you get each week right now? Share your answers in the comments. We read every single one. Before you go, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. We post new tips every week to help you stay strong, independent, and active for the years ahead. Thanks for spending this time with us. Until next time, keep moving, keep progressing, and remember, age may be a number, but strength is a choice.